I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 curious facts about Santa Claus you might not be aware of. Hey, I'm fat and jolly. Also, I want to apologize about the Santa hat. It's Juan's. Pretty sure it was for his dog. So, it's small. Hence, wearing it like Link. St. Nicholas isn't from the North Pole. Rather, he's from somewhere much warmer, Greece. St. Nick was a Greek bishop living in the 3rd and 4th centuries. Anthropologists recreated his face based on his skull and bones and found that St. Nick's nose was broken. This may have led to images of St. Nick with a large bulbous nose. Researchers believe the broken nose may have come from the Roman Emperor Diocletian's persecution of Christians.
24.
Despite the Roman Empire's persecution of Christians, the Greek Nicholas, Bishop of Myra, Turkey, persisted in spreading the gospel with a fiery defiance. Later, Emperor Constantine supported the spread of Christianity throughout his empire, thus bringing St. Nick out of prison and into infamy.
23.
Every year, many Christians celebrate St. Nicholas Day on December 6th, Nicholas's death. He was known to perform miracles in his day, which led to a strong following then, especially in the Middle Ages, and now.
22.
St. Nicholas was known as a magical gift bringer, and also became a patron saint of children. In one of his best-known stories, Nicholas saw 3 young sisters prostituting themselves to survive. He secretly brought 3 bags of gold to their heavily indebted father to use as a dowry for their marriages. The story goes that he put the bags in their stockings.
21.
Frequently told during the Middle Ages, though little known today, St. Nicholas is also said to have visited an inn where the innkeeper had recently murdered 3 boys, stuffing their body parts into barrels to pickle. It's said Nicholas knew the crime had been committed the moment he stepped through the door, and he brought the 3 boys back to life.
20.
As both the patron saint of children and the famous gift bringer, St. Nicholas was known to leave coins and gifts in children's shoes. Children began leaving carrots or hay out for his busy horses as an exchange for the gifts.
19.
As the Protestant Reformation swept across much of Central and Northern Europe, the popularity of saints rapidly declined. Thus, parents were left without a gift bringer. Many families and countries changed their bringer of presents to baby Jesus, often helped by a large, sometimes scary helper. For one of the scariest, look into the Krampus in Germany.
18.
When the focus went from St. Nick to the baby Jesus, the day children received gifts also changed, moving from December 6th, the feast of St. Nicholas, to December 25th.
17.
The German word Christkindl means Christ child, and over time was turned into a name we're more familiar with, Kris Kringle.
16.
Macy's department store Santa is so popular, Macy's even sponsors the Thanksgiving Day parade to welcome the big man to their stores. But Macy's didn't create the idea of department store Santa. That honor goes to James Edgar, owner of Edgar Department Store, who first dressed as Santa Claus in 1890 as a publicity stunt and to entertain customers' children. The stunt worked, and families from across the state in New England came to visit Santa in store.
15.
The Norse god Odin, I told you it was Norse, honey, likely contributed to the development of Santa Claus. Odin would fly around on his 8-legged horse, thought to have led to Santa's 8 reindeer, Sleipnir. The god would distribute either gifts or punishment to children, all of whom were wise to fill their stockings with treats for Sleipnir.
14.
One of the primary ways Santa Claus came to wear a red suit was due to Nicholas's religious position. As a bishop, Nicholas would wear a red bishop's cloak. Later storytellers, see numbers 10 and 7, kept the red robes as they fleshed out our modern-day conceptions of Santa.
13.
While many parts of Europe were eliminating St. Nicholas in favor of the baby Jesus gift bringer, the Netherlands kept the tradition alive with their own version of a character who brought gifts, Sinterklaas. Dutch immigrants later brought this chimney visiting image to the US.
12.
As the United States was born, most families disliked and didn't even celebrate Christmas. The version celebrated in England and the colonies was a bacchanalian outdoor rager where guests would become drunk and rowdy.
11.
Out of all the religious saints, St. Nicholas, or Santa Claus, is depicted by artists more than any other saint except Jesus' mother, Mary.
10.
The first recorded depiction of Santa Claus as the nighttime flying gift giver dates back to Washington Irving's book Knickerbocker's History of New York, published in 1809. Irving tells of a pipe-smoking man flying over rooftops in his aerial wagon.
9.
The anonymously published The Children's Friend in 1821 was the penultimate formation of the Santa we're more familiar with. The author removed St. Nicholas's religious aspects, kept the gift-giving, and added a single wagon-pulling reindeer and the heavy coat and garb of Northern and Central European Clauses.
8.
A Visit from St. Nicholas, aka 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, by Clement Clarke Moore, was originally published anonymously in 1822. Americans loved the story so much, including for the first time 8 reindeer pulling a sleigh, that it became our primary basis for conceptions of Santa.
7.
The Santa Claus we're familiar with today comes from a cartoonist. That's sticking it to teachers every time they said to stop drawing cartoons in class. Thomas Nast, a political cartoonist in the late 1800s, depicted Kris Kringle as the red fur coat wearing chubby paternal man we know today.
6.
In the late 19th century, the continent which first housed and developed St. Nicholas was then reintroduced to the jolly gift bringer, a departure from the scarier Christmas-time characters. Did you look up the Krampus yet? It's absolutely terrifying. Europeans adopted the American conception of Santa Claus, often naming him Father Christmas in their own languages.
5.
One of the better-known Santa Claus facts, a 1931 Coca-Cola ad became the final version of St. Nick we mostly celebrate today. Illustrator Haddon Sundblom was responsible for creating the polished black leather boots and thick white fur trim that continue to dominate Coke ads and our conception of Santa.
4.
Santa flew solo until 1849, when James Rees's A Christmas Legend first introduced Santa's wife and partner, Mrs. Claus. For the next half-century, Santa's spouse continued to pop up in various publications until Catherine Lee Bates's 1899 poem, Goody, Mrs. Santa Claus on a Sleigh Ride, embedded the warm and caring Mrs. Claus into the public psyche.
3.
A variety of countries prefer to keep the red-nosed jolly Santa Claus out of their Christmas celebrations, preferring their own local versions of Christmas gift bringers. 2 such examples are the Netherlands, where Sinterklaas is seen at parades throughout December, and southern Germany and northern Austria, where the Krampus frequently visits Christmas markets.
2.
In Japan, a Buddhist priest known as Hotei Osho is the gift bringer. Known for having eyes in the back of his head, to watch if children are being good, Hotei Osho is a benevolent-looking old man who carries around a massive sack to reward good boys and girls. Oh, and today, fried chicken is massively popular in Japan on Christmas Eve and Day.
1.
The last fact on our list of odd Santa facts comes to us from a place cold enough to house the big man. After the Russian Revolution, the Soviet Union banned Santa Claus and any celebration of Christmas. The then unpopular Joseph Stalin brought Grandfather Frost back in the 1930s, but changed his gift-giving to New Year's in an attempt to drum up public support and secularize the holiday. Wherever the Soviets went across Europe, they tried to spread a blue-coated version of the secularized Santa Claus, but thankfully for traditional Santa lovers, the new version never stuck. Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button in the top right corner so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with your friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these 2 videos here, or just head to our website at list25.com.